Hello, I'm Shayantika. I will be discussing the agricultural crisis in our country and the effect it has on the larger economy. India is primarily known as an agricultural economy. Nearly half of our workforce depends on agriculture as their primary livelihood. Yet the very people who feed the nation are the ones most economically vulnerable. This paradox is what we call agrarian distress, a persistent cycle of low incomes, rising debts, unstable prices, and uncertainty faced by Indian farmers. At its core, the agrarian distress means that farming is no longer reliable. Farmers face low and unstable prices, rising input costs in the form of seeds, machinery, and farmlands, heavy dependence on unpredictable monsoons and seasonal changes, cycles of debt, often leading to extreme outcomes like farmer suicides. Despite working tirelessly, many farmers struggle to achieve financial security. To give a little historical context, we must go back in time to understand the crisis. The Green Revolution of the 1960s boosted food production in India and made India self sufficient. However, it also led to problems like overdependence on a few crops such as rice and wheat, excessive groundwater usage, and regional imbalance wherein a few states like Punjab and Haryana hugely benefited. Post 1991, many economic reforms shifted focus towards industry and services, leaving agriculture behind. Agricultural sectors saw relatively slower growth and low investment. Over time, such structural issues built up and deepened, turning progress into vulnerability. The key causes of the agrarian distress might be listed as fragmented land holdings. Farmers own farmlands which are too small to implement heavy machinery and economies of scale. Number two, market inefficiencies. Farmers do not always get fair prices, and many a times the middleman gets a chunk of the profits. Number three, lack of storage and infrastructure. Extreme wastage is caused by the lack of storage. Almost 30% of harvest is often wasted after post harvest due to the lack of infrastructure. Number four, climate change. Erratic rainfall and extreme weather changes caused by current global warming issues often cause crop failures. Number five, limited access to institutional credit. This leads the farmer to rely on money lenders who often have very high interest rates, which leads to high debt issues for farmers. So the root causes of agrarian distress are complex, but together they create a cycle that is difficult to break. So what can be done? We can start with the diversification of crops. Encourage farmers to shift from water intensive crops to sustainable alternatives and implement methods such as crop rotation. Next, we can strengthen MSP and market reforms, improving implementation of MSP, minimum support price, and expanding market access through digital platforms like eNAM will help farmers get fair price. Number three, investment in irrigation and agriculture. This will reduce the dependence on the monsoon season and dependence on the unpredictable nature of seasonal changes. Number four, access to affordable credit. We can expand institutional lending and reduce dependence on informal sources of debt. Number five, technology and skill development. Farmers should be encouraged to learn more about agri-tech, precision farming, and should be educated on newer technologies coming in the market. Number five, crop insurance expansion. The schemes we have in our country right now, like Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, should be strengthened and made more accessible. Came to promote implementation timeline. First phase would be a short term of 1 to 2 years where the government can expand credit access, improve MSP procurement, and strengthen insurance. In the next 3 to 5 years, the target could be to build irrigation systems, storage infrastructure, and digital marketplaces for farmers. In the long term, 5 to 10 years, we would want to see a structural transformation, which means everything starting from crop diversification, climate resilient agriculture, introduction of new agri-tech, and rural industrialization. But implementation is not easy. There are many barriers to implementation, such as political resistance to reforms, lack of awareness among farmers, bureaucratic inefficiencies and red tape crisis, financial constraints, and deep rooted traditional practices which the farmers may not want to leave behind. So, these barriers often slow down well thought out policies. So, in conclusion, agrarian distress is not just an economic issue, it is also a human crisis. If India wants inclusive and sustainable growth, it must prioritize the welfare of its farmers. Because when farmers will prosper, the nation will prosper and the economy will thrive. Thank you.